That's another rather sad story where one person has been confirmed dead following the collapse of a three-story building at Alagomeji in the Yaba area of Lagos State. The National Emergency Management Agency, in its Day 2 incidents report on Saturday, said the body of a male victim was recovered from the rubble during ongoing search and rescue operations. While the Lagos State Fire Service reported that 8 construction workers have been rescued from the site of the collapsed building. The collapse has once again raised concerns about the integrity of buildings under construction in Lagos, where several such incidents have claimed lives in recent years, despite repeated government warnings and enforcement drives. To shed more light on this, we're being joined right now by the chairman of Lagos chapter of Nigerian Institute of Architects, Biodun Fatuyi. He joins us now to examine, of course, possible causes and solutions to building collapse in Nigeria. Mr. Fatuyi, thank you so much. Architect Fatuyi, rather, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to start off by asking you, from a structural design perspective, what are the most common mistakes that you have seen in Lagos construction sites that can lead to the collapse like one that we've seen in Yaba?
Yeah, majorly, thank you for having me this afternoon. Majorly, we have, talking about design, it's more to do with structural safety, of the building when we talk about structural designs, which majorly is the role of a registered structural design engineer, structural engineer. They look at safety factors, safety calculations to determine the strength of beams and columns after we have done our own architectural design. So basically, it is critical, it is very important for a member of the public to know the importance of using registered structural engineers, to do your designs. And also as architects, we should make sure that we also engage, the right professionals, at the right time, especially when it comes to the design stage. Majorly, the structural strength of the building is determined from the design stage, even before the construction starts.
All right, architect, we keep hearing about substandard materials and even poor supervision. As an architect, how much control do you actually have on site once a building is under construction?
Okay, good. So basically, as architects, we design and we supervise construction, because most of these ideas or concepts come from our imaginations and what we have seen as the best solution to the design queries or design problems that the particular project might bring. So it is very, very important, and that is where people miss it. You just feel that once the architect is done, he's done with his work, after giving you the designs and you've gone through the regular approvals, and then you feel you don't need him anymore. No, that is when this work actually starts, because he has to make sure that the process, conforms with the design as agreed with the client, and also meets all the safety factors and regulations that was considered while he was doing that design. It is very needed for us to engage, and also rely on the government, because most of these decisions, as much as architects are willing to, render their services, they are taken in conjunction, of course, with the nature of the project, that's the finances, the quality of work that needs to be done, that has been done, the team, that are working on the project at that point in time. So it's a process that encompasses the use of relevant professionals all through the lifetime of that project.
Now, there's something I've seen that is a pattern, if I may ask. Now, the government often blames developers, while developers blame enforcement. Now, in your experience, where exactly is the system breakdown? Is it at the design stage? Is it during construction? Or is it in regulation?
So, well, I must say that in to be honest, the Lagos State government has put in a lot of work in trying to navigate against this building collapse mess that we have. They have come up with ideas, programs like the Certified Accreditors program, which we were carried along while they were doing it. And that is a motive to say that, hey, the government cannot, they don't have enough manpower, to supervise these buildings, and they have integrated the private sector into coming forward to also make sure that the builders and the developers, follow the regulations that are stipulated. Majorly, also to make sure that we assist them, to enforce that these regulations, are adhered to. So basically, we are saying that it is not a finger pointing expedition right now. It is a general coming together of everyone, including the end users, including the people that own these buildings. They must be willing to do what is necessary to make sure that their buildings are safe, and that the process of construction too is followed professionally. So basically, developers want to develop, they want to make profit. They are looking at what is the best way we can, reduce the cost and maximize our ROI. We professionals must be able to say to them, look, we can look for more creative ways to manage cost in construction other than trying to reduce the quality of materials that we bring in. Also, there's a big challenge that we have to push to, the SOM, to look at the quality of materials in the market. It is critical because you can only sometimes use what you get, what you get to buy. So regulations must also come in there to make sure that the quality and the standard of these materials are not in any way reduced, or the market is not flooded, with substandard materials. Also, we have to engage in public conversations, to make sure that we educate the public on the importance of the use of the relevant professionals and the importance of you doing your building approvals and following the building regulations.
Architect, just like other buildings we've seen in Lagos State, this building in Yaba was actually under construction. Now, tell me, what protocols should be in place to, monitor the structural integrity of a project before it gets to this point?
Okay, so of course there are processes that we must engage in. Like I said, the Lagos State government has been trying to make this process easy. And I know there was a period that there was a window, of no penal situations where people can come, get their approvals done, and they did all the structural integrity tests for those buildings that didn't have approvals. I think that window is closed now. And for us to negate against such processes, we must, against such collapses, we must start to follow the rules of this process. We have to start engaging the right professionals, taking our drawings to the government for approvals, and the government has to also continue to try to make this process easier and faster to save time. They are doing what they can do, to be honest, and it is improving day by day. And then probably if we make the penalty, for such situations, maybe a little griever, stronger, we might get to force people to, follow the right processes and do the required documentation, for their projects. Also, like I always say, public awareness is important for us to continue to educate the public to make sure they know that this is the right process and this is the update on building regulations and all what we necessarily need to let the public know. We in the NIA, we have our baby project that we are trying to see how we can link up, with the Lagos State government, God willing, before the end of this year, called the Allied professional intervention program. It is an APIP. It's an intervention where we want to be able to integrate all the professional associations in Lagos with the Lagos state government, where we can help to make sure that such menace and such disheartening situations as bad as building collapse does not happen anymore. So it's going to have to be a roller coaster, between the government, the professionals, and the public. We all have to come together, put our hands together to make sure that we negate this problem that we have.
All right, Architect, before I let you go, I'm going to just ask you this very last question because it's very important. What immediate reforms, now I'm not talking long term, something that can start off almost immediately, what immediate reforms would you recommend to prevent another tragedy like this, especially in densely built areas like Yaba?
So if you ask me, I will say that such information should be made public for everybody to see and know. One thing people avoid is public embarrassment. If the government has done what they need to do by putting these regulations down, by bringing up programs like the Certified Accreditor program, by trying to engage the public to say, use registered professionals. This has happened time and time. Every time there's a rainy season, there's one issue, one building falling or the other. I think we should be able to document and make these things public for people to see and use as immediate examples. And then probably we would see people that would want to be more careful, that will want to try to make sure that they follow these regulations and not just sweep it under the carpet and say, oh, okay, yeah, we know a building collapsed and nobody died, or maybe some people died, and then that's the end. We should be able to know who owns this building, what are the penalty, that was given because of this. Somebody must have done something because the investigation is going on. I'm saying after this investigation, let us follow through by putting penalties on professionals that have not followed the building regulations, or that have or private sector, or whoever is that owns the construction that has not used the right professionals. There must be a
Architect, I apologize. I'll have to just interject there because we are really pressed for time. But thank you so much for having this conversation with us.
Thank you.